We were newly moved into Gurnee in 1991, and a pastor came to our door and said, "I'm starting a Lutheran church." We became connected with the very beginning of Joy. We met in his garage for a while, then we rented a little space, a cafeteria and a school.
About 18 months after we started worshiping in this space, there was a transition happening. The bishop came in, basically challenged us. Basically, do we want to fold? We said, fold? That's not very faithful. So we want to continue on. We don't know. And we started a new phase for Joy, and that's when our growth started to happen.
There are so many people that stand out to me as having an impact. From the dream team in the office with Ann and Dina, Janelle and Cheryl, and Scott. They're the wheels on the bus. They are some of the best people I've ever worked with.
I came to Joy.
I came to Joy.
I came to Joy.
I came to Joy because of VBS.
Pastor Jeff knocked on my front door
because I was looking for a church for my son to be baptized in.
I had several neighbors who go to Joy, so when I was church shopping, I knew I had to check out Joy.
Because my friend Ann's quiet, persistent invitations to Joy helped me see where God was guiding me.
Because of a sign along Gages Lake Road.
I was introduced to Joy by a friend and felt as though I had finally come home.
We ended up coming to Joy Lutheran Church because we received a bag on our door that had microwave popcorn in it and a couple other things.
There was a familiarity we had with the presence that Joy had in the community, but we knew what it was about and we knew what it was trying to do. And the few times that we had been just as visitors, we felt that spirit of community and really just a good place that we wanted to be a part of. It was one of the places that's like, you know what? We really liked it every time we went to Joy before. Why don't we try going more regularly? And the rest is history.
I think the community means the most to me. How inclusive and welcoming everybody is. People remember that I'm in college when I come home and they are so excited to see me, and it just makes me feel so welcomed and part of God's community.
Because I was looking for a place to worship that was completely open and affirming of all people.
There are so many ways that my life has changed from being here at Joy. Most of my closest relationships at Joy are with people that I've met in small groups.
Is that my kids got to be part of something that started from nothing. They were confirmed here, they had their first communion here. It's basically that Joy became part of our family's life.
And like the snacks, the kids' message, learning about God.
I really like the kids' message too, and also how many nice people there are here too.
Meeting different people and feeling like I had a connection each week, and that each week I knew I could go to Joy and I would see somebody that I knew, somebody that, to say hi to. It's definitely about the connections for me.
At Joy, I was baptized back when we were at the Woodland Elementary School. Joy has changed my life in so many ways. There's such a great community of people here, and I just like to think that God keeps bringing me back to Joy through phases of life. I just keep coming back to Joy, and I love it. I love the community. I love the support system that I have here, and now I get to raise my daughter here with that same mentality.
Hi, Joy. So what has Joy meant to the Cranmers in my life? Well, God has used the ministry and work of Joy in my family and I's life tremendously. And from the very get-go, we've been welcomed in like family. When I interviewed at Joy a decade ago, it was immediately apparent the love in this place. And we were happily adopted in. And it was a great privilege to do ministry with wonderful volunteers and staff that were passionate about sharing God's love with anybody who walked through those doors.
One of the nicest things that Joy did at that time was their quilt ministry. It was just, so wonderful to know that everyone in this congregation was praying for Carol's recovery and tying a knot. And then she got the quilt, and it was one of the most beautiful ones.
It had flowers. How did they know I love flowers?
What I am most grateful for when it comes to Joy is the way that my small group and other members of the Joy community really rallied around, held me up, prayed for Rachel and I when my marriage unexpectedly ended. I don't know that I would have survived without my Joy tribe.
Many of my best friends and most important relationships have come from Joy.
When I first came to youth group, it was just really welcoming. I felt a part of the youth group. I didn't feel new, which was really nice.
Just a commitment to each other and to the Bible, and so the small group was definitely where I felt 100% we were in the right place.
We have 3 little boys now, ages 8, 5, and 3, and we want to find a church community where they can grow up and old men will pat them on the head, and we know that there will be a community of adults that will just love them unconditionally and be Christ to them and show them the love of God. How we wish we could just raise our boys at Joy.
With everything that Joy had been a part of in my life, my whole heart for the Lord, I learned there. I still even haven't left. Even I live 1,200 miles away now, but I'm still part of Joy. It's my home. It always will be. We weren't there at the beginning of Joy, but I will be there until my last breath. I'll be a part of Joy.